السلام عليكم.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back, guys, again. How are you?
عليكم السلام.
Okay.
وعليكم السلام.
الحمد لله يا مستر.
Bismillah. Let's start, guys, here the questions that I said for you about it in the first period. This questions was about, it's about, guys, some more identities or some complicated questions. فيها فكرة by using identities, by using in other way. Not regular, يعني hard questions. Not easy. يعني need somewhat steps before integrate. So the first question, this one is simple.
Can I
And
try solving it يا مستر؟
Okay, تفضل.
2x squared over root x
2x squared over root x, yes,
minus 3x over root x.
minus 3x over root x dx, yes. You separate here the denominator and fraction into two fractions, the difference of two fractions. And now the integral of 2x squared, right, over
over 2 لا over root x قصدي
over x to the power of
negative 1
1 over 2 radical x or square root of x can be written as x power 1 over 2 minus 3x over, right or not?
x power by half.
X power half dx. Subtract the exponents while dividing by using the properties of exponents. So when we subtract here,
It's 1.5. The 3
Yes.
is 3 over 2.
yeah, take care here. So we have x, this is the 2, leave it the same. But x, up here we have 2, and down we have half. So 2 minus half gives what?
3 over 2.
3 over 2. 2 minus half, لا minus. في حالة division we subtract the exponents. So 2 minus half is 3 over 2. You are right. Okay. Minus 3x, and here also 1 minus half. Will be
اللي هي
3
1 over 2 بتصير 3x power by 1 over 2
1 over 2 dx.
dx.
Hmm.
الآن نطلع اللي هو integration بطريقة عادية صح؟
Yes.
بتصير 2x 3 over plus 1 بتصير 3 over 2 plus 1 اللي هي
2x.
5 over 2.
Yes, add 1.
5 over 2 over 5 over 2 minus 3x اللي هي 3 over 2 over 3 over 2.
Yes, plus 1, so it's a 3 over 2, 3 over 2, and this all over 3 over 2 plus.
طلع 2 لفوق.
Yes.
بتصير 4 over 5 x power by 5 over 2.
Yes.
minus 6 over 3 اللي هي 2.
6 over 3 x to the power of 3 over
3
2
over 2
plus c, which is 2.
plus c. Yeah.
Yes, it's 2, and we can write it here. 6 divided 3 is what? Is
2.
Okay, thank you. So this is your final answer. So again, عشان الناس اللي دخلت متأخر, here's the answer, final answer. But in the beginning, guys, of the question, we have the integral of 2x squared minus 3x على root x dx. Okay, فهد root x 2x squared over radical x حاله minus 3x over radical x حاله, and then he converted radical x as x power half, and then he subtracted the exponents since we divide them minus the exponents. 1 minus half here, 1 minus half is 1 half, and then add the exponents, add to the exponent 1 and divide by the new exponent. Okay? Any question? This one is not hard, it's easy here. The same as questions we did in the first period today. Okay, the next question, also the same idea. Khalid? Yes? Yes, Khalid.
هو واتكلم تقريبا بس صوته واطي.
Yes.
It's me, Rafi, not Khalid.
You are Rafi? Okay, fine. Yes, Rafi, solve. نشوف خالد. ظبط المايك.
X to the power 3 over x squared
Yes.
plus 5 squared over x squared minus 4 over x squared plus 3
Yeah, minus here. Minus, not plus. Minus 4 over what?
squared
Yes.
minus 4 over x squared.
Over x squared dx. Yeah. It's the integral of x cubed over x squared.
It will be x plus
Yes, it will be
5
x.
plus 5x.
It will be
It will
x.
be x plus 5 plus 5x.
That's
5x
5. We're going to cancel x
minus
squared, x squared. 4x to the power of negative 2. Okay. Do your steps for integral.
x over x plus 5 minus 4 x to power 1
X to the power of 1 here. When we add 1 becomes
minus
2 and divide by 2 or multiply by half يعني. Then the
plus
integral of
5 squared over 2
5 what? 5 nothing.
5 squared
5x power 0. 5x power 0 because x power 0 is 1. So now it's 5x, okay, power 1.
so 4x to the power no, nothing.
No, we add 1 here, so it becomes a negative 1. And divide by the new exponent, which is negative 1 plus c. Now we add 1 to negative 2 becomes negative 1 and divide by the new exponent. So your answer is 1/2 x squared plus 5x. And since we have negative becomes what?
Positive
Positive.
4x plus c.
Yeah, power negative 1 plus c, or you can write it as 1/2 x squared plus 5x plus 4 over what? 4 over x plus what? Plus c. Okay, guys? Okay, Rafi? So take care, Rafi, of this term. 5 only, its integral is 5x. Okay, power negative, we just add 1 and divide by the new exponent. Any question? Is it clear? Yes? Is it clear, guys? No?
Yes, Mr. It's clear.
Yes, Mr. It's clear.
Right, next question. We have this question had integral of x plus 2 times x times 4 minus 2x. So the idea here is to multiply, make them as only one what? Quadratic equation, quadratic expression. It's the integral and multiply. Yes, Abdurrahman Aus, multiplying here by using distributive properties.
يا مستر multiply عادي.
Okay. 4x.
4x.
If you want to multiply, 4x minus 2x squared.
Yes.
Plus 8.
Plus 8.
minus 4x.
minus 4x.
4x مع النيجاتيف 4x بكنسل بعضيهم بضل عندنا نيجاتيف 2x squared plus 8.
Negative 2x squared plus 8.
Yes.
dx.
Now we can do integration طبيعي تصير negative 2 over 3.
Yes.
X power 3.
Right.
Plus 8x plus c.
Plus 8x plus c.
Yes.
Okay, this also is easy.
مستر صوتك واطي بعد إذنك.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Hello.
Yes, it's good, Mister.
Yes,
Good
Mr.
right
Better.
now. طيب. طيب. Next question. Also, we have to multiply first before integrate. Usama Yunus.
Yes, Mr.
Yalla, answer this question. When we have this.
So first of all, we have to add the powers. So it's going to be x to the power of 3 and 1/2.
Multiplying
So
by x power
3.5.
1/2. Yes.
So 7/2. So 3 to the power of 7/2.
dx.
Okay, Mr. Yeah.
We just added the exponents, guys, here. We added
Yes.
the exponents. 3 plus half.
So it's going to be
7/2.
X to the power of 9/2.
Why 9/2? Because we added 1 to 7/2
Yes.
becomes 9/2.
9/2, or like 2 over, yeah, divided by 9/2, which is now 2 over 9. 2
Now it's 2
plus
over
C.
9x
Over 9,
to the
x
power
to the
of
power 9/2 plus C.
plus C. Okay, it's clear now for all. Thank you, Sam. Okay, next question is Fahd.
Yes, Mr.
Yes, answer.
X plus sine x dx, Mr. We'll find integration.
Yeah, integral of x is
X power by 2 over 2.
yes, or half x squared. The integral of sine is
Cosine
cosine x and then plus
C.
C. That's it. Okay. Okay, guys. Simple here, this question. Next question is Mr. Omar Abu Zahra. Yeah. The
Yes,
integral
Mr.
of secant squared. Integral of secant squared.
Secant square Mr. tan Mr. tan
It's tan. Right. Why?
tan Mr. derivative للتان secant square
Excellent. Yes. So the
Sign opposite.
integral of secant squared is tan. It's also a simple question. Next question. Next question. Yes, Nadal. Think with me how to solve this question. 1 over sine squared x. Guys, if you have any quotient like this, you should get rid of the quotient or the fraction. So how to convert this 1 over sine squared by using the trig identities you have said before to convert it as what? 1 over sine, can it come? 1 over sine x. The reciprocal identities. 1 over sine is cosecant x. 1 over sine is what? cosecant
Cosecant square x.
لا cosecant بس. أنت قصدك now?
Cosecant x.
Yes, it will be what? Cosecant square. So the integral of
Cosecant square.
cosecant squared x dx is equal to, yes, we have a rule here that the integral of cosecant زي ما عمر the integral of secant squared is tan x because the derivative of tan x is secant squared x. So now what's the integral of cosecant? لو تفتكر what's the derivative of cotan?
negative cotan Mr.
أيوة, what's the derivative of cotan was negative cosecant squared. So now the integral of cosecant squared is negative cotangent x plus c. So my answer here is negative cotangent x plus c. Okay? Thank you, Nadal. Next question. Listen carefully, guys. When you have a trig function sine, cosine, tan, cotan, like this, and you have to find the integral of this function, وعندك angle is linear. The angle is what? The angle is linear. So simply, what's the integral of sine? The integral of sine is cosine, the same angle, 6x plus 7, and then divide by, as we said in the previous session, we said the integral of sine 3x.
Mr. integral of sine مش negative cosine بس
Negative, yeah, negative cosine. But the integral of sine 3x is negative cosine 3x over 3. This all over 3. So the same here. We divide by what now? Over what? Over 6. Over 6. Let's see. So take it as a rule, guys. When you have linear here, you divide by the coefficient of what x, or the derivative of 6x plus 7. You got it, guys?
Yes, Mr. Yes.
Here's the answer. Okay, Walid Maher, next question.
Yes, Mr.
The integral of secant tan. Think inversely, what is the derivative of function? Derivative what function gives the secant tan?
Secant tan.
The derivative of
Yeah,
what
Mr.
function?
I have the picture for the rules. I want to just check
gives
them
secant
real quick.
x tan x.
secant x tan x. اوكي.
فاكر؟
انا عملت لها سكرين شوت بس بدي ادور عليها. مش موجودة، مش مشكلة. secant x tan x. اوكي.
The derivative of
secant tan.
The derivative of secant x. The derivative of secant gives the secant tan. So the
Secant
integral
tan,
of
okay.
secant tan is. So the integral of secant 6x or 6 minus 2x tan المهم secant tan equals yes
Yes,
equals secant.
the integral of secant x tan x is secant. Yes.
Yes, if you take here the integral of secant x tan x gives what?
Secant.
Take the integral for both sides and cancel out the integral with the derivative gives the function itself, secant x. So the integral of secant tan is secant. Secant the same angle 6 minus 2x
2x
plus secant. بس لسه محتاج اعمل multiply by what؟ المفروض قصدي divide by what؟
derivative by
لا
ايش؟
يعني احنا دايما ناخد الكوفيشنت اوف x on divide عليه يبقى 1 over
1 over 2 yes.
negative 2. Okay, dividing by negative 2 always, guys. The same as the previous question.
Yes.
We divided in the previous question. We divided by what? By 6. Okay. Now we have what? Negative 2.
By
divide
negative
عليه.
2 yes.
أو multiplying by negative
multiply by
half.
negative reciprocal. Okay.
Next question. 4x cubed minus sine 6x plus cosine x. Yes, Rami. Rami can try to solve it.
Okay, it will be 4x to the power of 4 over 4.
X. Just 1 second. Yes. Yes, 4x to the power of 4 over
4
over 4
minus cosine to be plus cosine
plus right
over 6
sine 6x over 6
plus sine 6x over x.
Cosine is sine 6x over also 6 right
Yes.
plus the c.
Plus c.
Simplify.
X to the power of 4
Yes.
plus cosine x plus sine x.
Plus 1 over 6.
Okay. Then 1 over 6 cosine plus 1 over 6 sine.
Plus 1 over 6 sine 6x plus c.
Plus c.
Yes. This is your final answer. Okay, guys? Yes. So ask me, guys, if you have any question. Till now, it's okay. You have any problem? Yes? Any questions? Okay.
No.
Next question, Omar Hisham. Yes, Omar. Let's solve more, guys. We have the integral of sine, Omar, is what?
Integral of negative cosine? Or cosine?
Negative cosine, yes.
Okay.
Negative cosine 4x over what? Over
4.
Over 4. And now, the integral of cosine?
Sine 6x over 6.
Right.
Plus, I don't know the
secant tan. We said this, with Walid Maher. And then in secant tan, its integral is secant.
Secant? Okay.
Its integral is secant.
So, secant 3x.
كان في 2 هنا.
2 secant 3x.
2
secant 3x over 3.
Sure. 2 secant 3x divided by 3 صح؟
Yes.
لازم divide by 3 plus c.
Plus c.
Yeah, final answer is negative 1 over 4 cosine
4x minus 1 over 6 sine 6x plus 2 over 3 secant 3x plus c.
Plus c. Thank you, Omar. Okay, now pay attention, all of you guys here. Since we have cosine squared or sine squared, okay, in this question, cosine squared, you have to use identity. And the identity we should use here to replace the power 2 in the derivative. كنا بنستخدم chain rule, drop down the 2 and cosine 5x, then times the derivative of the inner function, the derivative of cosine, and then the derivative of the inner function. But now we have to replace cosine squared 5x by any identity. And the identity we have to use here, cosine squared x, this is the basic fact, equals 1/2 plus 1/2 cosine 2x. Cosine 2x. Cosine double the angle. يعني if we have here x, so here 2x. If we have here 5x, فأكيد جوا بيكون 10x and so on. And since we have cosine squared 5x in the question, so I have to replace it with 1/2 plus 1/2 cosine 10x. Cosine 10x. Cosine what? 10x. ليه cosine 10x؟ هي كده رول، لو هنا x بنكون 2x، لو هنا 5x يكون 10x. لو بدل ال 5x في 6x فيكون بدل ال 10x we have 12x. So let's replace it here. Replace the integral and replace or substitute cosine squared of 4x by 1/2 plus 1/2 cosine 10x. يبقى أشيل cosine squared and replace it by 1/2 plus 1/2 cosine 10x. يبقى كده احنا عملنا reducing the power from power 2 to power 1، وبقى بدل البرودكت to what؟ to sum. بدل ما اعملها cosine no, it's here sum. So it's easy now to find what? So easy يعني to find the integral of 1/2, which is 1/2x, and the integral of 1/2 cosine 10x, let the 1/2 as a constant, and take the integral of cosine 10x, which is sine 10x over over 10 plus c. So the key of the solution here is using this identity. Cosine squared of 5x is 1/2 plus 1/2 10x, cosine 10x. So it's 1/2x plus 1 over 20 sine 10x.
But I have a question.
Yes.
Can you remind us of what cosine 2x standard for? Then you're using the identity, right? So cosine 2x, you expand it, and then it will give us cosine squared.
Yes. We have 3 rules for cosine 2x. Cosine squared minus sine squared. Okay.
Can you write them down, mister? Can you write them?
The rules for cosine 2x, right? Which is called the double angle identity.
Yes.
Yes, it has 3 rules.
Yeah, what are they? I forgot them, mister.
Okay. طيب. Bismillah, let me change the color. Yes, if we say the sine 2x is equal to sine cosine, 2 sine x cosine x. There's only one rule for sine 2x, or double the angle. Cosine 2x, it has 3 ways or 3 formulas. The first one is cosine squared x minus sine squared x. Sine squared x minus sine squared x, and equal also 2 cosine squared x minus 1. Yes, 2 cosine squared x minus 1.
And
also
1 minus 2 cosine squared x. صح كده ولا لا؟
and 1 minus 2 sine
squared x.
Sine أيوة sine squared x.
This for cosine. And also 10 tan double the angle,
tan
which
A.
is 2 tan x over 1 minus
1 plus minus tan squared x.
tan squared x. صحيح. Okay, so here's the for. طبعا الايدنتيز مش هتحفظهم.
شو هدول
الايدنتيز we're gonna
الروز؟
use them. سمع me to write the
أخذناهم
rules
السنة
for
الماضية.
double angle identity. أخذتوها in grade 11. double
Yeah, we took it last
angle
year.
identities.
هنستخدمهم هلا مستر ولا later؟
Yes, this one is important اللي هو cosine squared.
لا هاي
cosine squared.
لا أنا بحكي عن
هنستخدمهم
كاتبه
طبعا.
بالبلو مستر. هلا
Yes.
ولا هنستخدمهم بعدين؟
لا هنستخدمهم. Especially this one in red. Cosine squared x is half plus half cosine 2x. هي جت منين؟ جت من ال second formula هي. This one. هذا اللي نكتبها فوق هذه جت منين؟ استنتجناها من هذه من cosine 2x equal 2 cosine squared x minus 1. Okay, move 1 there and divide by 2 gives a half plus half cosine 2x. Next page, we have this question, but for sine squared. For sine squared. For sine squared, write this identity. Sine squared x is equal to the same 1/2 بس minus. اللي فاتت كانت ايه؟ plus.
أيوة.
And here minus. So it's 1/2 minus 1/2 cosine 2x. Okay. For our situation, we have sine squared 3x over 2. يبقى what's the double of 3x over 2? Sine squared 3x over 2. We can replace it with half minus 1/2 cosine. ايوه المفروض يكون دبل الانجل، دبل هذا.
صار
3x.
ايوه 3.
ايوه اللي هو دبل 1/2 لان 3 على 2 which is 1/2 1.5. So the double of 1.5 is 3. أو multiply 3 over 2 by 2 gives 3. اوكي حلو. فنروح نقول ايكوال. عمر ابو زهره كمل كده. replace sin squared.
مستر half minus half.
Yes. 1/2
half minus half.
3
minus half minus half cosine 3x.
cosine 3x dx.
Yes. هلا مستر بصير half x
half x
minus half sine 3x
the
over
integral
3
of cosine is
sine 3x over 3
over 3
ايوه
كده
plus c.
نظبطها اخر حاجه اللي هي ايه؟ half x
minus 1 over 6 sine 3x plus c.
sine 3x plus c. So the identities you can find the identity, you can print it out, you can open your website and find the identities, no problem. But the skill here, guys, is only to use the identities. Which identity I should use to replace sine squared and so on. يعني مش تحفظ identities بس how to use the identities. Next question, 1 over 6 squared 9x. 1 over 6 squared 9x. Yes, we can try, guys, to solve this question. What's the idea? Which identity we can use to convert this question from 1 over 6 squared 9x?
مستر احاول انا.
يلا قول لنا 1 over 6 squared.
مستر تقع 1 over 6 squared هي same as cosine.
Yes, same as
cosine square 9x.
خلاص يبقى 1 over 6 squared تكون cosine squared 9x dx. So it's the same as the same as this question. Cosine squared 5x هنا cosine squared بس 9x. Yes يا شباب. Thank you عمر. عايزين حد تاني. Yes. Okay يلا يا عبد العزيز. Complete. What's the formula we used here for cosine squared 9x? We said cosine squared شوي على ما نحفظها 9x is equal to 1/2 plus 1/2 cosine double the angle. double the angle. الانجل here is 9x يبقى الدبل تبعها is 18x. So replace cosine squared 9x by half plus 1 half cosine 18x. يلا عبد العزيز حاول كده تعمل integrate for this expression half plus half cosine 18x. عبد العزيز رحال. يس. طيب عمر عصام. عمر عصام. طيب عبد الرزاق يلا.
have x
Hmm?
it's a product rule.
نعم. No.
Product rule.
What? No. Half مفيش product rule here. The integral of cosine 18x.
Negative
ما في
9.
half x بره. طيب لسه قايلينها the integral of cosine is the integral of cosine is what? If we move back
Sign.
the integral of cosine is sine.
Okay.
Yes. شوية في الأول بتفضل متلخبط ما بين الديريفيتيف and integration بس خلاص بتظبط معاك شوية. Cosine 18x its integral is sine 18x and over
18.
Over 18, right. Plus the constant. Half x stay the same, but half times 18, 1 half times 1 over 18.
Sine 18x over
1 over, yes. لأن هنا الهاف multiplied by sine 18x over 18 فتكون 1 over 36, right? يعني تمام 18x plus c. Okay, this is your final answer, guys. Yeah, next question, guys. Next question is very important, and you should concentrate, guys, how to do it. It's to the power of 4. It's to the power of 4. So pay attention, please. I'm gonna solve. The integral of cosine 2x, it's power 4, right? So we can write it as cosine squared 2x, and this all to the power of 2 dx. You know, 4 is 2 by 2. And you know the property of exponents. You can multiply powers. It's called power of a power property of exponent. 2 times 2 is 4. فأنا split out ال 4 على الكوساين بقت power 2 وبره power 2 عادي. وcancel out ال 4. Why? Because from the identities I can find cosine squared 2x. We can reduce the power and use this identity, which is 1 half plus 1 half cosine double اللي جوه هنا double 2x which is 4x. Double 2x which is 4x. طيب يبقى replace it as use a bracket and then بدل الكوساين squared 2x I'm gonna write half plus 1 half with me, guys. Cosine 4x.
With you, yeah, Mr.
Yes, and this all to the power of 2 dx. The integral of squaring here, expand. We will expand here this binomial. And to expand it, we will square the first, squaring the half gives a quarter. Multiply first by second by 2, gives 1 over 2. Also cosine 4x. Plus squaring here the last term, it will be 1 over 4 cosine squared again 4x. يعني ظهر لي cosine squared تاني نفس المشكلة اللي كانت فوق. We can integrate here or write it again as 1 over 4 plus 1 half cosine 4x plus 1 over 4. And replace this cosine squared again for 4x. Replace cosine squared
with half
أيوة
plus half cosine 8x.
برافو. يبقى cosine squared 4x. Thank you عبد الرحمن. Which is 1 over 2 plus 1 over 2 cosine
8x.
8x. يبقى 1 over 4 ديت لسه still multiplied by all this. And I have to put it here half plus half cosine 8x dx. So it's the integral of 1 over 4 plus 1 over 2 cosine 4x. And now multiply the quarter by all terms you have. It's 1 over 8 plus 1 over 8 cosine 8x 4x dx. ونشتغل عليها integration عادي.
1 over x plus c.
Now we will integrate 1 over 4x and integrate the second term. It's 1 over 2. The integral of cosine is?
Sine.
Yes, sine 4x over 4.
Over 4 يعني 1 over 8. Okay, plus 1 over 8x.
Yes, plus the fourth term 1 over 8 cosine 8x becomes
1 over 8 sine 8x over 8.
Yeah, sine 8x over 8 plus c.
Plus c.
Simply, finally, we can write 1 over 4x plus 1 over 2 times 1 over 4 is 1 over 8 sine 4x. And now plus 1 over 8x.
كذا نجمعها مع الأول تيرم.
أيوة ممكن كمان 1 over 64 now sine 8x plus what? Plus c. Also you can add عشان مثلا لو في multiple choices ولا شيء you can add here 1 over 4x with 1 over 8x.
3 over 8.
3 over 8, right. So the final step here is 3 over 8x.
Yes.
Plus 1 over 8 sine 4x. Select. Okay, plus 1 over 64 sine 8x. Sorry, it's 1 over 8 sine 4x, and then plus 1 over 64 sine 8x.
بس تقريبا حط القلم اللي بيعمل ستريت لاينز.
Yes. خلاص, I'm gonna cancel the system. مش عايزة تنكتب.
Mister, I'm gonna leave the period because I have to do something important.
What?
Okay.
What should you do, yeah?
I need to go somewhere, Mister.
Okay.
Okay.
What's your name?
Goodbye.
Osama?
Osama. Yes.
Okay, Osama. يلا. ما في مشكلة.
Okay. يلا سلام.
Okay, so I'm gonna erase it again and leave it at the final
Mr.
step.
Can you
Here,
not
1
get
over 4x
such long questions for the midterm?
in the midterm? No, all my questions will be long like this one. That's why I'm teaching you the same questions. امال بناخدها ليه؟
ممكن عشان الكولج يعني.
لا انا ما بعتهاش عشان التست. طبعا عشان الكولج وعشان كوبر. And take care, guys, that these all questions outside, يعني it's not found in the textbook. Maybe you find it in the practice test for any practice test for the AP calculus, or you can find it in the exercises or some other books for calculus.
Yes.
Or you may find some of them in the set exercises 4.2. الكتاب برضه ممكن تلاقي بعضها معه. This question 1 over 1 minus cosine 6x, it's hard to do it, guys, because the denominator consists of two terms. If it's only one term, we can split this fraction into two fractions, but it based also on the same identity. Cosine squared x, we said that cosine squared cosine squared x yeah is equal to 1/2 plus 1/2 cosine 2x. صحيح؟ Yes. طب لا. And we said sine squared x is equal to 1/2 minus 1/2 cosine 2x.
Yes.
And since here it's minus, so I'm gonna use the second identity.
بس
But
لسه هي مش square.
yes, I will multiply by 2. All the equation becomes 2 sine squared x equals 1 times 1/2 times 2 is 1. 1/2 cosine 2x times this 2 gives cosine 2x. Okay? Yes. And then for our question, we have 1 minus cosine 6x. يعني لو هي 1 minus cosine 6x, so what's the angle should be here? 2 sine squared what? 3x.
ايوه.
Yes.
فيعني
Yes.
you will replace it by
Yeah, we will replace 1 minus cosine 6x by 2 sine squared 3x. Again, أنا اشتغلت على identity sine squared x equal 1/2 minus 1/2 cosine 2x. حاولت ان انا اجيب 1 minus cosine 2x او 1 minus cosine 6x او 1 minus any other cosine any angle. يعني 1 minus مثلا cosine 10x. What should I write here at the left side? 2 sine squared half the angle here.
5x.
5x and so on. So we will replace as
2 sine squared half the angle.
Yes, 2 sine squared half the angle is 1 minus cosine double the angle مثلا. So replace 1 minus cosine 6x with 2 sine squared
3x.
Yes, 1 minute. Yes, sine squared 3x dx. And we know 1/2 is constant outside the integral. 1 over sine squared 3x dx, which is, and we can write
it
as
use the
1 over sine squared is what? Cosecant squared 3x dx. Yes, which is 1/2. 1 over sine is cosecant, and 1 over sine squared is cosecant squared. And the integral finally of cosecant squared 3x يا شباب is
ثانية عايز اجيب. طيب negative cotan x plus c. ايوه طبعا
negative cotan the angle over 3 plus c. So your final answer is negative 1 over 6 cotangent 3x plus c, and we're gonna stop till here. But please take a screenshots, guys, of these questions as homework. This one, and we will use the same fact here for 1 minus cosine 6x.
مستناش الهومورك ورجينا السؤال.
this one. هذا السؤال homework. And we will check it tomorrow in the board.
Okay.
And this one also.
Okay.
Try to expand first. And if the questions required any identities, try to use it, no problem.
بس ما لحقتش اصور السؤال الاول، ممكن ترجع له.
هذا هو السؤال الاول اللي هو the integral of 1 minus cosine 4x over 1 plus cosine 4x
Okay.
dx. The second question. And the third question. Same idea, expand first using a squared plus 2ab plus b squared, and try to convert this product to sum. Try to convert this product, it's a product here, يعني cosine 3x
بس ورجيني السؤال اللي قبله
is multiplied by sine 4x. You change the product to sum.
Okay.
لو سمحت عبد الرحمن ابعتهم على الجروب عشان الكل يعمل الهوم ورك بتاعه.